70% of the clients that you hop on a sales call with don't actually care about your service. They don't care about what it is that you have to offer or anything like that, right? 70% of them don't really care. And to be honest, this is where majority of agency owners go wrong within their sales. This is why they struggle so much with their sales. Now, as I said, 70% of the prospects you'll hop on a call with just don't care about your service. But obviously, what about the other 30%? What do they care about? Well, this is the exact topic, the exact concept that I'm going to be basically pulling apart in today's video that will dramatically help with your SMMA sales. Now, guys, as always, if you do find value in this video, make sure you go ahead, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. You guys know massively helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And with that being said, let's truly jump straight into it. This video kind of has two topics to it, right? I'm basically going to be talking about one of the biggest mistakes I've made within my agency. And that mistake is getting too hung up on my service. And so I want to basically transition it into a video about sales, right? And how you can help increase your sales conversion rate. Because as I say, this is one of the biggest things that I kind of struggled with when I was starting out. I thought that what I had to offer was the reason why clients bought. And, you know, to be honest, I was kind of thinking a little bit selfishly, right? I was thinking about me. What have I got to offer to the client? What have I got that the client wants to buy from me, right? But to be honest, that's not how you should look at sales, because clients don't really care about what you have. Clients care about themselves, right? Which is completely fine. I'm not saying clients are selfish or anything like that. It's just, you know, what they care about. And to be honest, humans very much care about themselves, okay? And the same goes with clients. And so when I was going into these meetings, I was always focusing on myself. I was like, I've got this, I can help you do this, I can do this, you know, all this stuff. It was always about me. And it wasn't until, you know, I was maybe 5-6K a month that I really started to, you know, because obviously by that time I had clients sign on board. I was working with clients. And so I was really able to understand and see firsthand what clients cared about the most. You know, being in communication with them daily, I was able to see, understand, I'm really, yeah, like I say, really just understand what it is that these business owners care about the most. And it's where their business is and it's what they feel, okay? And it's where they want to go and all that type of stuff. It's a lot about them, which is completely fine. And so you need to alter your sales to adapt to this, right? And it was really at this point, once I had this realization, that I started to see my sales dramatically increase. Now, it's all well and good for me to sit here and say, you know, focus on the client. It's not about you, it's about the client. But what do I actually mean? And what is it that they actually care about? Well, they have goals in their business, right? Just like you have goals in your agency, okay? This is a really good way to look at it. Just as you have goals in your agency, you want to get to 10K a month, you want to get to 50K a month, or maybe you just want to get your first 1-2 clients, right? If a service provider came to you, okay, and basically said to you that they'll work for you, and whatever the number is, that how much they charge isn't, that's not what the topic of this video is about. It's about kind of how they position themselves. So if they came to you and said, I can do this, I can, you know, I've got this software that helps people do this or do whatever it is, you'd be sat there, you'd be like, yeah, okay. But imagine if they flipped that and said, you'll get to 2 clients, or you'll get to 10K a month, or you'll get to 50K, you know, whatever it is that you want to get to. That's going to resonate with you far more than them kind of flexing what they have to offer, right? That just doesn't resonate with you as much. But as I say, if you told them that you truly, your deepest desire is to get to 15,000 a month or 16,000 a month, which is 200,000 a year, multiple 6 figures, that's your deepest desire. That's what you really want to achieve within your agency. And somebody came to you and said, look, we can get you to 15K a month. You know, we can get you to that multiple 6 figures per year mark. That's going to resonate with you far more than them saying, I've got this piece of software. You know, one of the really cool perks of it is that you know, we can do this. That's just not going to hit with you that much. And so it's the same idea when it goes to sales, right? When you hop on a call, you need to flip the script and you need to kind of really understand where the client's at on their end and what they want to get to. That's the most important thing. What are their deepest desires? What do they truly want out of their business? And how can you help them get to that point, right? It's kind of the idea of, you know, the point A, point B, and you're the vehicle to bridge that gap. But I think that concept often gets overlooked quite a bit. People just think, okay, point A is where they're currently at and they want to get to, you know, they're currently at 100,000 a month. They want to get to 500,000 a month. I can be the bridge because, you know, myself and my agency can bridge that gap because, you know, we can run Facebook ads and scale up their business. That's a very, you know, very straightforward, straight and narrow a way to look at that point. But You need to really, really understand it, like truly, like their goal. They would love to get to 100K a month. If they're currently at 20K a month, they really, really want to get to 100K a month. And so you need to really identify where they're at. Obviously, that's easy enough, but you need to understand truly where they want to get to and why they want to get to that point. Why don't they just stay where they're at, right? Why don't they just, if you hop on a sales call with somebody and they're doing 100,000 a month, why don't they just stay at 100,000 a month? Like, they're making good money. You know what I mean? Like, they're 100,000 a month. They'll be very well off. Why not just stay there? Why do they want to get to 250 a month? Why do they want to get to 500 a month? And once you truly understand that, then it's easy to position your service in a way that's going to fuel that gap, right? Or bridge that gap, let's say, right? It's very easy to do that. But the only way you can do that is by flipping it and not looking at what you have to offer, but really understand where they're coming from, what they want. Then from there, you'll be able to position your service in a way that just completely makes sense to them. And that's when you get the sale. And on that idea, right, from where they are, where they want to get to and whatnot, that's the reason why people buy, right? That's the reason why clients sign on board with you. And this is for anything, right? If you've got your own info product or you've got this or that, whatever it is, the reason people buy is because they think that that's going to bridge that gap that they have in their mind. Right? They don't buy because you go more broad with your targeting, or they don't buy because you do dynamic ads over, the traditional way of doing ads where you'd make your own combos, right? They don't buy even, they don't even buy because you do Facebook ads over YouTube ads or Snapchat ads or, whatever else it is, right? They don't buy because of that. They buy truly because they think that you'll be able to get them to where they want to go. And then, once they do sign on board, that's when you really start to take action and you do actually get them from where they are to where they want to go, right? That is how you build a long-term, very, very successful agency. Now, I've gone a bit high level there, but in the sales call, that's why they will buy with you. They won't buy because as I say, you go more broad with your targeting, or you do interest targeting or the lookalike. They don't buy because of that. As I say, that's the 70% of people don't buy because of that. They don't care about that. They want to go, they want to get to where they want to get to, their goals. And if you can help them get there, like, your conversion rates will be so high. You'll be able to sell any and every client that you want to if you can truly position yourself as the vehicle that will get them from, point A to point B. And as I say, that concept gets overused a lot, but you really need to understand that concept and really start to apply it to your sales calls, okay? As I say, this is something that I didn't do when I was starting out. I was always focused on me, what I had to offer, how did I go about things. And also something else that I did a lot was, try and position myself differently from other agencies. Now, you most definitely should do that, but the way that I went about it was explaining my strategy in a way that was different to other agencies. And, that was just going back to the whole thing of, me explaining that I go more broad, or we do this or we do that. Clients don't really care about that, right? Which really made the sale a lot harder and a lot more difficult to close than it really could have been, right? It could have been very, very easy because I didn't position myself and my agency in a way that's going to get them to where they want to go. And that end destination, that goal for all business owners, oftentimes people think it's the same. Oftentimes people just think, oh yeah, I already know where they want to get to. They want to scale up their business. They want to, grow or whatever. But, yes, majority will, but some don't, right? Some business owners just want their marketing completely automated in safe hands so that they can basically go ahead and travel. Not right now, obviously, because of what's going on, but they can just go and travel. They can just basically forget about the business, almost have it completely automated, and they just get paid X amount every single day. That's some people's ultimate goal, right? They just get paid $1,000 profit every day, 30K a month profit, and everything's automated. They don't have to look at anything, they don't have to do anything, and they just get paid $1,000 a day profit, right? That's some people's goal. Other brands' goals is to really become the absolute leader, the sole leader in their industry, profiting like, 10K a day, 20K, whatever it is, right? That's other people's goals. Other people's goals want to get to $1 million a month, whatever it is, right? You need to understand that, because if you don't, if you go to somebody and you talk to, as I said before, somebody who's in that situation that just wants to make $1,000 a day profit, they just want everything automated. They don't really care how they get that $1,000 a day profit in terms of, whether it's through Snapchat ads or LinkedIn ads or Facebook, they don't care about that. They just want to get $1,000 a day. If you go to that person, right, and sell, and not you won't sell them, but you go to that person and pitch your offer, pitch what your service and whatnot in a way that's going to, basically you're going to be able to spend $5,000 a day. You're going to be able to bring them in $20,000 a day. Really scale up their business. that's not going to resonate with them as much. Now, as I say, you may think everybody wants that, but not everybody does, because if you're spending 5,000 a day, there's going to be a lot of complexity, not just on your end as the agency owner, but also, you know, the operations in the back end and whatnot. And maybe some people just don't want to deal with that. As I say, they just want their 1,000 a day profit or whatever it is, right? Very arbitrary numbers, but you get the idea. So you need to really understand what they want as an individual, and then you can simply position your service in a way that's going to fuel that idea. And once you do that, as I say, your conversion rates will be very, very good. Now, as I said before though, this is 70% of prospects, right? Roughly. Again, these are very arbitrary numbers. There's no data to back this up, but I would say from my experience and whatnot, you know, I would say roughly 70% of prospects are in this kind of arena, right? What about the other 30%? You know, if that 70% don't care about how you get the results, they don't care about the minute details, does that mean the other 30% does? Well, to be honest, yeah, right? Because you'll have that 70% of clients who are just kind of more focused on their business, where they want to get to, what their goals are and whatnot. Then you have this other 30%, and I've got quite a couple clients right now who fall under this 30%, and I had to sell them very, very differently because they genuinely cared about how we went about things, right? They genuinely cared about the minute details of how we go about doing X, Y, and Z, whatever that may be: targeting, scaling, testing, you know, creative direction. How do we go about that? Communicate, you know, all this other stuff. They genuinely cared about that. So again, you need to sell them differently, because if you then go ahead and sell them on this broad vision, right, that would work for the 70%, that's not going to resonate with them as much, because they want to understand that they want to really realize, and you know, that's not going to work for them, because they want to understand exactly what you're going to be doing, because they're kind of more, I wouldn't say sophisticated, but they're more knowledgeable about running ads, because majority of the times these brands who fall under that 30% category, they actually are already running ads. Usually, at least from my experience, it's usually them personally, right? The owner personally. This is more info product clients, I would say, and a couple e-com clients, but more so info product clients. But as I say, they're usually, as the owner, running the ads. So they're in the ads manager every single day, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, whatever. And they're looking at the metrics, they're scaling, they're testing. So they want to understand how your approach is different, right? Because at the end of the day, if you come into any client's ad account, any brand's ad account, right, and you just do the exact same thing as what was going on in the ad account previously, you can't expect different results, because you're doing the same thing, so you're going to get the same results. You know, that's super obvious. I shouldn't need to say that, but that's just what happens, right? And so these clients who are already running ads, usually, as I say, for the most part, it's going to be themselves running the ads. They want to understand how your approach is different, because if you go in, do the same thing that they're currently doing, they'll just be wasting money, okay? And also, something else to note about these types of clients is oftentimes their results are actually pretty good. You know, they're doing 3 ROAS, 4 ROAS, whatever it is. And they, you know, usually, as I say, these types of clients, I've got a good ROAS, but they want to scale, right? They want to keep that 4 ROAS, but they want to take their spend from a 500 a day to 2,000 a day, but keep that 4 ROAS. And so they really want to try and understand how you're going to do that. And so that's when you need to go more granular with how you position your service. You don't want to go on about like, oh yeah, we'll be able to do this, this, and that. You need to be like, no, we'll be able to do this. You know, we'll be able to take that 500 a day budget to 2,000 a day, because we go around scaling, or we go about scaling by doing this, by doing that. We go more broad, but we make sure that, you know, constant creation, creatives are being injected. You know, you go more granular, okay? And that's going to resonate with them more, and that will help you get the sale. So final thing I want to cover, and I'm sure it's probably a question that you all have in your minds right now: how do you know what type of prospect you have? Well, this is not a black and white answer, okay? It's very much case by case. And as I say, it's not a black and white answer. I wish it was, so I could just tell you, and you know, in your next sales call, you can look at that answer and figure out what they are. It's not as easy as that though, because as I say, it's very much case by case. And the best way, honestly, and it's not the answer you want to hear, but the best way to figure out or to really understand what type of client you have on the other end of the phone or the other end of the Zoom call, right, is just by building experience and having clients of both nature, and you'll be able to pick up on things, right? Usually the best telltale sign, I mean, you can look at it before the call, right? You can kind of go through their ads and whatnot. If they've got pretty good ads running and they're not working with an agency, then you can kind of assume they're going to fall under that 30%, because if they're not working with an agency right now, then who else is going to be doing it? They may have an in-house media buyer, but you know, they wouldn't be looking at you potentially to come on board if they've got an in-house media buyer for the most part, right? So usually you can tell by that. But the other best way to really understand is just by looking and, well, not looking, listening to the questions that they ask. If they ask pretty in-depth, granular questions, right? If they ask about targeting, then you can be pretty safe to assume that you've got a client in that 30%, right? However, on the flip side, if they ask more broad questions like, you know, what other clients have you done this for? You know, just stuff like that, where it's not as granular, it's not as specific. Can't think of any good examples of that side, but you get what I mean, right? It's not as specific, right? But if they go out and start asking you, are you more interest heavy or are you more lookalike heavy? You know, when you run your lookalikes, the custom audience itself that you're building the lookalike off, what number do you wait for that to get to before you start to build that 1% lookalike, 2% lookalikes? On the topic of percentages, what do you normally do? Are you normally 1% or 1 to 5% or 1? You know, if they ask questions like that, it's a pretty good telltale sign that they're more sophisticated around running ads, and you need to go a bit more granular with them, because that's what's going to resonate with them more. They understand it. But if you start going like, you know, that detailed, that granular with a prospect who doesn't really care, to be honest, about whether you do Facebook ads or YouTube ads or whatever, they just want to get the best result at the end of the month, right? If you start going super granular like that, like, look, we do 1% lookalikes, 2% lookalikes, 3% lookalikes, we split test those, see what works best, and then we scale the best one. You know, in terms of the custom audience that we build the lookalike off, we wait until it's got 750 to equate for around 20% missed tracking on Facebook's end. You know, if you start doing all that, it's just not going to resonate with them as much if it's a client in that 70% range. So overall, what you need to realize is that you need to understand what type of prospect you have on the other end of the phone, right? Or Zoom call, right? Are they the 70% or is it the 30%? And then you need to position your sales pitch in a way that fuels their motivations and fuels what they care about. Okay, that's the biggest thing. You need to position your sales pitch in a way that fuels what the prospect on the other end of the phone cares about most. And if you do that, and you also position it in a way that it's almost a no-brainer to them, that by, you know, them working with you, they'll be able to get to wherever they want to get to, your sales conversion rates will absolutely, without a doubt, increase. Without a doubt, okay? Because at that point, unless there's logistical issues such as product, operations behind the scenes, whatever it is, apart from that, right, there's always going to be exceptions, but apart from that, there's literally no reason why they wouldn't sign on board with you. So overall, I hope this video helped. I hope it shows you kind of just a little bit of you know, a different thinking, a different approach to sales overall for your agency. So with that being said, I hoped you found value in this video. If you did, as always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.